Why don't we make French onion soup at home? Why? Because it takes too long. If you have an Instapot though, you can solve that problem, and we're going to show you how to do it today. I am going to start though by making some croutons for the top, because I want that top breading and cheese to be crunchy and give it some texture to the soup. You can totally skip this step and just put a slice of sourdough bread on and then the cheese. I'm telling you, if you do this, it's going to be way better. All right, I have a giant bottle of olive oil, so just put your fingers over it and let a little bit drizzle out. This is maybe 2 slices of sourdough bread. I slice it up into some, maybe, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch chunks. You don't want them too big because we're just making little soup bowls. We're gonna toss it about a bit, and we're gonna add our favorite seasonings. Right now it happens to be Johnny's because Johnny's is delicious, but you can put whatever you want on. Maybe some garlic salt or salt and pepper, nothing at all. Maybe you just want plain old breadcrumbs, which are also delicious. We are going to put this in a 425-degree oven for about 10 minutes. When they get nice and crispy, and maybe shake them halfway through or flip them over, we're going to take them out. We're going to let them cool completely. Okay, the breadcrumbs are done. They're back there cooling off because you want them to get crusty. Next we're going to do is saute the onions, but I want to show you how to do the onions, but I don't want to cut the onions because it makes me cry, and it's really, nobody needs to see that. So what you want to do is cut off the root ends, then you turn it this way and you cut it in half, and then of those half you lay them flat down and you cut them into rings like this. You don't want diced onions for this, you want rings, and you want them to be about 1/8 of an inch or however small you can get them. Okay, next we're going to turn the saute mode on high on our Instapot and press start. And we're going to use 2 tablespoons of butter and 1 tablespoon of olive oil just to get everything going. To this, once the butter is melting, oh, that's perfect, yay. We're going to add, this is 3 large white onions and some shallots. But if you use a variety of onions, the flavor of onions will just be more developed. This is what was available, and so this is what we have, but you want to fill this up pretty well. And by pretty well, I mean probably about half the way. This is an 8-quart Instant Pot. And now what we're going to do is saute them. It's going to take about 4 or 5 minutes, so we'll be back after that. Okay, the onions are looking pretty good. They're starting to get a little sweaty, which is what you want. They're releasing their juices. You can totally smell them. It's amazing. Next, we're going to add, this is just 1 kind of medium-sized diced garlic. One tablespoon of honey. You could use brown sugar if you want to, or agave, also a good option. You can stir that around a little bit. This sort of gives it that caramelized color and flavor, because when onions cook for a long time, they get really sweet. So that's why we're adding that. We're also going to add about a palmful of dry thyme. If you have fresh thyme, put about 3 sprigs in. But I don't, so we're going to do this. I like to squish them between my palms. It helps release the oils and get them activated. There we go. I also have a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. That gives it that color, number 1, but also it makes it, I think it's the fish sauce that's in there that makes it taste like it's been cooking for a really long time, which is wonderful, and we love that. Okay. To this, I'm going to add about 1/2 cup of red wine, and you can leave this part out. Most French onion soup has brandy and red wine. I'm not really sure I like that brandy part. I do like the red wine part, but if you don't want to put wine in here, you don't have to do that. It is going to all cook off, all the alcohol. It's just leaving the flavor, but if you're worried about it just skip this part and put in an extra half a cup of beef broth, which is what's next. This is 2 cups of beef broth. This is cooking for 2. So if you're making a larger batch, that's great, no worries. Just double all of this stuff. And here we go. Oh my goodness, that smells so good. Wow, yum. We're also going to throw in 1 bay leaf, a nice pinch of salt, and some pepper. We're going to put the lid on this and we are going to pressure cook it for, that's right, 8 minutes. 8 minutes instead of 2 hours of stirring onions. So exciting. All right, we'll be back when all this business is done. Oops, that's the wrong way. Okay, so it cooked for 8 minutes. I did a quick release. I forgot to tell you earlier because I forgot to add it. I did put 2 tablespoons of beef bouillon, better than bouillon beef flavor, in the soup. I like my soup to be very beefy. So if you want that, please add it. I'm sorry, I forgot to do it earlier. The other part is, if you want your soup to be thicker or creamier, you can add in 1.5 tablespoons, maybe 2 tablespoons of flour over the top and stir it in before you put the beef broth in. I like my soup to be soup, but a lot of people like it to be a little bit thicker, so that is also another option. Next, what we're going to do is remove, oops, I should have thought ahead of that, this bay leaf. And if you have fresh thyme in here, you also want to take those stems out because you don't want to serve that to anybody, not even yourself. So don't forget that part. Okay, next what you want to do is find yourself a little oven safe, broiler safe vessel. There's cups, there's mugs. This one actually doesn't say broiler safe, but we did try it in this and it does work. But when you broil it, keep the door open and keep your eye on it. It's so hot in there, you can see what's happening, and sometimes things burn really fast, so be careful. Okay, next we are going to scoop up some soup. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. These onions are actually, to me, perfectly cooked. If you want them a little softer, which is totally fine, just cook it for a little bit longer, no big deal. And by a little bit, I mean maybe 2 minutes in the pressure cook. Oh, so pretty. Our whole house smells like onions. Sorry, neighbors. Not sorry. Sorry you don't get any because there's not enough. Okay, after this, what we're going to do is our beautiful breadcrumbs go on top. And I'm kind of liking about filling up all the top of it because these are so yummy. Plus it gives texture to the soup, which is delicious. Adds a little bit of extra different flavor because of the Johnnies or whatever seasoning you put on top. And then we're going to put a slice of Swiss cheese over it. A lot of recipes show a little bit of provolone over that as well. I didn't have any, but if you want to try that, you certainly could, no problem. And then next, a sprinkle of paprika. And this does add a little bit of smokiness, but really what it does is it makes it pretty later. Now we're going to put these in the broiler. Yikes. So my oven is on broil. Broil is a very tricky business. You want to put it in there and then give it 3 minutes and then open the door and watch it because it burns fast. We'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, it smells like it's ready. Let's check it out. Oh, that's delightful. So about halfway through, I added an extra slice of cheese and a little bit more paprika. I do like the cheese, I confess. So there it is. It's beautiful. It smells amazing. But obviously this needs to cool down before I can eat it. But I do want to share with you, there will be leftovers. So here's what you do. You put them in a sealable bowl like this. Let them cool off completely. Put the lid on and take the extra breadcrumbs or croutons and a slice of cheese with you to work or wherever. Put on the breadcrumbs, put on the cheese, stick it in the microwave, and have a delicious lunch because everyone will be jealous, I promise. Okay, this is going to take maybe 15 or 20 minutes to cool off because that's hot. So we'll see you in a bit. Okay, our delightful French onion soup is finally cooled down enough for me to eat it. I like to serve a little croutons on the side in case you run out. Also, I want to say you can make this if you're a vegetarian. All you need to do is add some mushrooms to the onions while you're sauteing them and use vegetable broth and vegetable bouillon. And I'm going to do this after this episode from my friend Joy, whose birthday it is today. Happy birthday, Joy! She's a vegetarian, but I want to make her this soup. So I will put in the comments below how it turns out, but I think it's going to be amazing. Okay, here we go.
Big dog.
Big dog thirsty. Oh, soup is so good. Yay, team. All right, give this a try. I will put both recipes in the comments below. One for with beef, one for without. Give it a try. Let us know what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see you soon.